Hi everyone, today we're at Penang. Today we just want to showcase our latest installation of Topp Pro sound systems, and let's take a look inside. Okay, so now we're inside the school hall. As you can see, it's a pretty huge hall, even for a SMJK standard. It's a double-story hall, but the walls and ceilings are quite high. If I'm not mistaken, the measurements is from the front to the back is 30 meters and it's 10 meters high, at least towards that kind of grid area. So in a place like this, it's quite challenging to make sure that you have clear sound, and it's quite often that, and in common, that when you're in a school hall like this, that it could be overwhelming. The sound is too much, there's too much reverberations, because everything is hard walls. You don't have any carpets, you don't have any kind of curtains to kind of block and absorb the sound, so it's quite difficult. So the key of doing an installation like this is to make sure that you don't have too much speakers, or that the sound system is not too huge. You just have to push just the right amount, and we'll explain it to you kind of from the angle over there. So you can see the L-Array systems over here. So these are the main systems. There's 8 cabinets in total on left and right. So each cabinet is about 300 watts, but if you look closely, it's enough. And all around the hall, there's no side fields, there's no side speakers. It's all through this main speakers. Kind of you branch out it fills in kind of from all the angles. Because it's only 300 watts, you stack it up into 8 units, you get, with the power rating of kind of 1800 watts, you can reach it all the way to the end. So if I'm not mistaken, the dispersion angle is about 15-inch vertical going downside, and it's 110 both. Based on our calculation, it reaches everywhere. And it's important that in a hall like this, you don't want too much system. It's too much reverberation, there's too much hard walls. So a system like this, if you just cut the low end, it'll reach towards the end. And you pair it with the subs towards down there. There's 2 subs over there. It is enough if you need more bass in your kind of system, and if you need more punch. So we'll take a look over the subs. So this is the L-Array 28H subwoofers. So there's 2 on this side and there's 2 on the other side. So altogether 4 subs. When it comes to vocals in a hall like this, you don't need subs. Just for vocals and clarity, you just need the main top system, and the L-Arrays is more than enough to cover the whole hall. But if you're talking about bands, if you're talking about you're making a school play, you need kind of that punch, especially when you need to play, for example, your school song or any of your favorite play tracks. So adding this additional sub it's not a bad choice. You use it when you want to add in that more flavor, and because of this subs, each rated at about 1500 watts at program power, 3000 watts at peak, it's more than enough to kind of fill in whatever space that you need without being overpowering. Of course, taking into account that our engineers have kind of cut low end through the top, so this will kind of take care of everything else when it comes to punch. And I just wanted to showcase why we chose if you look at the whole setup, there's 2 small cabinet speakers that's sitting in the 2 top here, and there's a purpose. So your main system is your L-Arrays, right? But here's the problem, is that the position of the L-Arrays is right at the angle in front of the stage. The dispersion angle is not low enough to kind of hit right in front of the center right here. So for people who wants to be right in front of the audience, they need kind of a hearing device. So we chose our Flex 5 here. Just 1 cabinet, 2 cabinets. The dispersion angle is about 100 vertical wide as well. So for your front audience, it's a no-brainer, it's a no issue. This kind of your 2 front system is enough to kind of have enough clarity for them to hear. So any live band setup, you need personal monitors. For any artists or bands, they need their own personal monitoring. We set up 4 personal speakers kind of each side. So you can take one for the drums, one for the vocalist, one for the guitarist. So we chose our XCS12A speakers. So these are power subs. Because of this, the management system is much more simpler. At least for kind of this moment, we don't need any DSP, we don't need any systems to kind of control them. These power systems just enough to kind of eliminate the room. This is your standard M32. They've chosen this. For a system like this, you need to go digital. So you know the flexible part and the advantage of you doing digital is that the DSP, you can use EQ, compression, any stuff like this. So sure, we do the tuning. For speakers, and we kind of, our engineers kind of tune it based on the acoustics of the room. But to fine-tune this kind of system, it's important that the user also fine-tune each individual channel. So some singers can be, in a system like this, anything can go haywire. So you have to make sure that you have tools to kind of fine-tune if there's anything that might go array. So with a digital mixer, you can EQ kind of the low ends, or if you feel there's haywire kind of frequencies in the mid-range, you can cut it off easily. If you're thinking about expanding your systems in the future, I think M32 is a good choice because of the AS50 outputs. So with AS50 outputs, you can plug in up to 16 channels. We chose the SD16, the Behringer SD16, so there's 16 channels for you to play with. And if you combine it with either the Midas DL32, that's about 32. And since there's two AS50 outputs, two AS50 ports, you can expand it up to 64. So in terms of maneuverability, that's how you say it, there's much room for expansion. This is your typical amplifier rack where they house all their amplifiers. There's total of 5 amplifiers in total. So we chose the TD1000 because it's enough to supply the L-Array speakers. They're meant for the L-Array speakers. So based on this amplifier, you can only supply up to only 4 cabinets. But because we chose to do it in looping, you kind of distribute the powers equally, and you can multiply that into 8. So one TD1000 is supplying one side, a total of 8 cabinets in total. So one amplifier is controlling 8 cabinets of the L-Array on one side, and another is controlling another 8 of the left side.